Pranam to our revered Sri Sadguru. Pranams to Srihariprasad Swamiji, and welcome to you all. Over the next 3 days, we will be immersed in the eye-opening and deeply life-changing ways of Balakrishna. I'm certain that the exchanges will be of a high quality and intellectually invigorating. This webinar on Balakrishna is a humble tribute to Bhakti, a timely reminder that when the Lord chooses, he can not only endear himself in divine ways, but actually teach us the paths that lead us to good living. Boundless joy and love were spread by Balakrishna. I pray that the participants too tread the path of explaining in several boundless ways the many nuances of Balakrishna. Having said that, let me share a rather simple daily experience. I come from a background of communication where we are interacting with stimuli that are real, easy to decode, and if contextualized well, they can create what we call our memory structures. While the philosophical analysis and commentaries are integral to further the human mind, every aspect of what we hear, say, and listen to ought to build towards these memory structures. To that effect, we have stories, myths, narratives, symbols, and more. Balakrishna is a strong memory structure in my very humble understanding. The task, however, is to ensure as to how we can draw from the various expositions and pick pathways that will help us emulate the saintly, the divine, and do our bit. And bring about that Vatsalyam which marked Balakrishna into our daily lives. Then this webinar would have done yeoman service to the world. Let me share a short yet frequent experience of mine. I have a display screen on my phone. With one click of the home button, modern technology connects me effortlessly to the Dwapara Yuga. Fascinating as the connection may be from one yuga to the other, what that moment of technology does to me is simple and exhilarating. I experience immense joy when I see Balakrishna and Sudama as children stealing butter. It may seem like a simple illustration or a cartoon to many on my phone, but that click moment is a memory structure. In fact, it is a signal that amidst us humans, God was there like a little lovable fellow, spreading the happiness only a naughty child can, while in the most unassuming ways also shows that he is the God. More importantly, all the qualities that only a Sri Krishna can have. Balakrishna was real, I would like to believe. By that same measure, Lord Krishna too. That's what the collective memory of India tells us. In fact, when I think of the many darshans of our revered Sri Sadguru, Her Holiness Swami Gnanananda Sarasvathi, it reminds me of the same, the eternal presence and proactive nature of Sri Krishna to bring about change. There was never a darshan or a day when Her Holiness would not cite Sri Krishna. His wise ways, his memorable naughtiness, his unique pranks were part of the bhakti immersion we were put through at Sri Gnana Advaita Peetham. It was for many of us more than just a story. It was and continues to be an eternal repository of experiences and how to live a life that was meaningful, helpful to others, and endearing. From our Sri Sadguru, we learned how the Lord was Purnavtara as Krishna. So the child Kuti Krishna must have been more complete than what mortal beings like me can imagine. So shifting back to the intellectual exchanges that will happen over the next few days, I'm sure they will bring out important and interesting dimensions of Balakrishna and his charm. The fine union of the human and the divine, the ethereal and the ephemeral, as the webinar description says so eloquently. But as a bhakta of the divine God child, I should share that the Vatsalya Bhavam, that was a hallmark of the Yashoda and Balakrishna epoch, was what we were blessed in the midst of our revered Sri Sadguru. Her gentleness, her kindness, empathy, teachings, and divine reassurances to me and many of us like me are akin possibly to the way the friends of Balakrishna may have felt, completely taken care of, and with not a worry in the world. In gay abandon, all of them danced and played around. That Balakrishna was their Sutradhar, as much he is to this creation. Jagat Guru was he, a gentle God amongst them all. They all surrendered to his ways, true Sharanagati. Weren't we lucky and blessed then that we heard these stories and ways from no less than our Sri Sadguru? All expressions of divine Vatsalyam of a different kind, showered on lesser mortals, by her holiness. How kind she was, what a guru she was. On behalf of the Sri Vishnu Mohan Foundation and Sri Jnana Advaita Peetham, I wish you all the very best and pray that you may have the guidance, presence, and participation of Sri Hariprasad Swami and the blessings of Sri Vishnu Mohan. May this webinar bring forth the joys and life of Balakrishna, not merely as intellectual insights or narratives, but as nuggets and learnings that will help us all live a selfless, altruistic, and soul-invigorating life. For it is He, the Lord Krishna, who is always there for us. I quote our revered Sri Sadguru, who said, "The arrow that is shot does not return to the quiver, the word that is spoken to the speaker, the hour that is spent does not return, but Sri Krishna always comes back to us, even when we forget him in the bustle of the world." My good wishes to all of you, my namaskarams to Sri Hariprasad Swami, my pranams to the revered Sri Sadguru, my prayers to Sri Krishna, may we never forget him. Thank you.